That's exactly what I was going to say, Brian. Sorry. Technology's become super easy for people to record and distribute their music really simply. It doesn't need to be this, it's not like this hidden veiled process as to how a band exists anymore, you know. All your friends can play in bands. And I think that's another part of what's happening, especially with Wizard Rock, where there's an established community that's already so nice and supportive and eager to hear something new and different.
I think it also reflects a lot on the type of people who are attracted to events like this, because when you go to a Wizard Rock concert, even like honestly, when anybody's asking me about Wizard Rock, the only way that they could ever really know what it is I'm talking about, they could look online all they want, they could listen to the music all they want, until they go to a concert, they don't understand the community aspect of it. And even people who have never met anybody in the room before will walk in and just feel this immediate, just like, they're included, everybody's friendly, it's great. Even, like I went to 2 Harry and the Potters concerts before Draco and the Malfoys hadn't even started, before there were any other Wizard Rock bands that kind of played shows together, and it was just, I mean, I walked in and everybody was the same, it was just like me. They all just nerdy kids who had a lot of stuff in common, who liked music, who wanted to like go try out this crazy thing. We all had found it on the internet, so we were all like internet crazies. And honestly, like, what more could you want in a big group of friends? You walk into that room and all of a sudden everybody wants to talk to you. And that was before anybody knew anybody else. I mean, there were kids at that first show at the Red Lion at Rutgers that I went to that I still keep in contact with just from that show, and I feel like there's something about the community that makes people want to be a part of it, because it's not about just the music, it's not just about the books, it's about all of us and what we bring to it, and it just makes everybody feel so happy, like a big family. It really is a community more than anything, and until you go and you experience it, you can't really describe it, and you can't really explain it to anybody, but it's there, and everybody can feel that.
Can I say one more thing? Okay, it just kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about like the Harry Potter fandom and then the Wizard Rock fandom, because they're two completely different things. Like the Harry Potter fandom and then the Wizard Rock community. Do you see what I'm saying? They're two different things. Like fan fiction and fan art were around, but that was part of the Harry Potter community, and then the Wizard Rock fandom, and then Wizard Rock came along, and that was a community. So I think that is another thing that draws people in, especially musicians. Like, I mean, I wouldn't have done it without hearing the other people doing it first. I wouldn't have been inspired to go for it. I mean, I think that as a musician, it's so appealing to have an audience who's willing to listen to your music no matter what it sounds like. So I think that's another thing that's really appealing, although I hope my music is good enough to listen to.
This question is specifically for Nina and Lauren. You guys have a song that you wrote specifically about your experience with Wizard Rock. Do you feel like the popularity of that song is because the fans have pretty much the same feelings about that scene that you do?
I'm going to tell a story. I told this earlier today. Lauren wrote the lyrics for Transparent. It could have been on Toilet Humor, but I didn't want to write the music until we wrote What About Myrtle, because I just hadn't really found my spot in the community yet until we went to Rockstock last year, which you should all go to in November. I keep plugging it. But it was then that it really struck me just like how good each and every person in this community is, and how much it really has changed me in a lot of wonderful ways. And it was then that I was like, hey Lauren, remember that song that you wrote lyrics to that I was like, no, I'm not writing music to that yet. Then I wrote music to it, and we were both really excited about it, and it kind of brought the whole CD together in some ways, and I think that everybody feels it the same way that we do every time we play it. And the expression that Lauren used when we were discussing how to craft our set list for Leaky was, it just fills me up with love. And I feel the same way, and I hope you guys do too.
Yeah, just really we tried to make it about Moaning Myrtle because all of our songs are about moaning Myrtle, but in reality, we all kind of have a little bit of Myrtle inside us, I think. We all know what it's like to be made fun of, and it just, you know, when you have that moment where suddenly you don't feel like this invisible person that nobody cares about anymore, that's what the fandom has given me, and I feel like it's given everybody something like that. And just, I mean, people tell us all the time how much they like it, and I think that just really reflects on how the whole community everybody just wants to be accepted deep down, and I think this is a place where everybody can experience that.
And I also think that like our stories of how we discovered this community are extremely different. Everybody has a different, you know, little storybook ending. But I think what's in there, like the friendships created and like the impact that it's had on your life, in some ways it's the same. We all have the same ending. Aww.
This next question is specifically for Dinah and Amy. You both have had experience with the fandom outside of the U.S. and, you know, most of the rest of us have not. What do you see a difference in the fans? Is it just sheer numbers, enthusiasm? How do you feel that it's different across the ocean?
Do you want to go ahead first?
You can tell me.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Let's see how polite we are. Well, I've had the opportunity to attend Wizard Rock shows across the U.S. a little bit, in the UK, and one freaking glorious show in Sweden, actually. I actually want to talk about the Swedish show more than anything else. It was so amazing to me. I had been talking to some of these people from, they're the Harry Potter Alliance chapter in Sweden, the Advance Guard, and they're the people who are helping organize all of these shows, and their shows, first of all, tend to be charity efforts, and which is amazing to me. And second of all, I went to this show. It was called Wizard Rock Halloween, and there were 8 bands playing in 7 sets. Two of the bands were combining to do one show, and they're so creative and so enthusiastic over there. And so it's not at all for lack of enthusiasm. I think it's all, honestly, the only main difference, I think, is the number of people around to be fans and the lack of funding to come to places like America, which are freaking huge and filled with fans. Already, you know, ready to come check out the Wizard Rock, and I don't even know how many people fit into this tiny little venue. It was larger than I expected, and I was thinking, oh, there's just going to be like a small crowd of like the Advance Guard and our close friends, and we're going to be the little contingency rocking out. But this venue was completely stuffed full, first of all, and half the people had only just heard of Wizard Rock because of this event, and they just wanted to come hear fun music, and they ended up enjoying it, buying the Nordic Alliance of Love, the Swedish compilation album, and having such a great time. And I got a chance to talk to some of the Swedish rockers, and one of the questions I asked them was, what is the hardest part about being separated from the majority of the Wizard Rock community? And they said it's really just the fact that I can't be there with them for the most part. They have their supporters where they are, and it's a lot harder in the UK, I noticed. I was thinking about the touring in the UK would probably end up being almost like little groupies following the tour along, because it would be the same people coming to the shows at every place. So a tour would be kind of silly in a lot of ways. But in Sweden, I don't know, they're very fortunate there. They're surprisingly into Harry Potter. I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, I'm going to stop.